Hey guys, it's Brandon with JazzPokeCenter.com, and it has been probably a week since my last video, and I apologize. We've just been busy, and I don't know if y'all can hear it, but Saturday afternoon I started feeling really bad. I got some kind of cold. If I got $1 for every time I've sneezed, and if I've gotten 50 cents for every time I've blown my nose since Saturday, I could probably retire. Just straight retire. Wouldn't even have to sell Pokemon anymore. My nose is so raw. Anyway, y'all don't want to hear that. So some exciting news. I had my biggest show ever weekend before last. I did. You lose a total amount when you're like buying so much at the show, but I definitely did conservative value over $8,200. By far my biggest show. Super thankful for everyone who has supported me and helped me. My first show, I bet you I didn't even have $3,000 worth of stuff. And just the way that I've been able to grow the business with everybody's help and my wife's support and everything. Like I said, we sold $8,200. It did look like we got robbed. I'm not gonna lie, it looked rough. But I mean, I had the stuff, right? And that in itself is a blessing. It is. I know everything's skyrocketing right now. I have made some big purchases since then. I got, of course, I ordered some more Japanese booster boxes. They came in tomorrow or Thursday. I should be able to order a Ninja Spinner, which is going to be cool. That's the net set coming out. Excuse me, guys. Raw and unedited today. I don't see, I don't know if anybody even looks at my edits. Now that's what I call high quality H2O. Anywho, so I got Ninja Spinner. Hopefully he'll be here. I would love if I can order it tomorrow. There's a good chance he'll be here Friday. If not, he'll probably be here Saturday. I have a show this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, so hopefully I can sell it, get it in, and go and sell it this weekend at the show. That would be fantastic. I also ordered a case of Scarlet and Violet Base Elite Trainer boxes and a case of Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer boxes. So those are my first official cases that I've ordered. It's pretty exciting, pretty, big boy stuff, if you will. So that's pretty cool. Of course, I got a Stellar Crown booster box. I was even able to get a Silver Tempest Elite Trainer box and booster bundle. So that was like $2,800 right there in that order. And ordered it from somebody online I was a little scared of. It's supposed to be a 2-day shipping. I ordered it last Tuesday. I finally got a confirmation yesterday that they shipped it. So it's supposed to be here tomorrow. Fingers crossed it comes in. Everything comes in all right. But I'll have that stuff at the show this weekend. So we have, a Facebook page for our town, and they put up events and yard sales this weekend. And this guy, Gary, he was having a yard sale, and he had some Pokemon. So I asked him, was it sealed or loose? And he said it was singles, no bulk. And honestly, I was like, singles is probably a lot of bulk because everybody thinks, they're sitting on a gold mine, right? And I looked him up, I was super nosy, make sure it was a real guy and everything. And I, of course, went to his Facebook page, and we had, I don't know, like 20, 40 mutual friends, and he was friends with my brother and some other guys I used to ride with and stuff. And so I was like, okay, he's a legit guy. And honestly, I forgot all about it. Stayed up Friday night till about, I know time was jumping forward, so I stayed up till about 1, which was really about 2. And what was I say? I don't know. My days are running. That might have been Saturday night time jump. Either way, I stayed up like 1 and playing video games. Went to bed. I get up at like 8 on the dot. I mean, it was kind of weird. I don't even set my alarm, but like 8 on the dot. And of course, like every millennial, first thing I do is look at my phone. And Gary, he had private messaged me saying, "Hey man, you really should come look at these cars. I'll give you a good deal. They're all pools." And Oh, and he said, and I live across the street from your ex-wife. I ain't gonna say her name, but so I knew exactly where he was at because obviously I know where my ex-wife lives because my child's there half the time. And so I grabbed some money I had in the sock drawer. Really didn't know what he had, and drive over there, look at his stuff, and it was so much cards. He had um two of the cardboard sleeve things, right? And we counted one was like 178 cards in top loaders. And they were all in sleeves and top loaders. Everyone I spot checked was in awesome shape, all near mint. I didn't see no light played cards here. I did notice there was a lot of V cards though, and a lot of V star cards. So I knew they weren't like high dollar cards. I knew there was gonna be a lot of work. Then he brought out some binders too and everything, and the binders also had. I mean, so and he had some hollows and reverse hollows, which were they're like less than $1 a piece. I mean, they're probably less than 25 cents a piece. But like, so about the oldest one I spot checked was from Black and White, the original Black and White, not Black Bolt White Flare. But most of it, 90. So I get fidgeting. 95% of it was Sword Shield Air. Okay, and then some celebrations was still probably Sword and Shield Air. So yeah, a little bit of celebrations, but this guy opened up so much Evolving Skies and Fusion Strike and Lost Origins, that time frame. He brought out books of the Elite Trainer boxes from like Evolving Skies, where he just ripped them all open. And like we counted the books and everything, and like in books alone, he probably would have had $60,000 worth of ETBs if he kept them sealed. I mean, it sucks. Uh, this was my first big order though. This was my first big bulk purchase, and I was nervous. He didn't really know what he had. I honestly didn't really know what he had because I got into this there in Scarlet Violet area about almost a year and a half ago, and I got to do a little bit of Sword and Shield, but I don't do a lot. But I know a lot of the V cards end up putting in my dollar binder and giving away to kids for free. But then I spot checked some. Some were like $12. Some was like $15. Some were like $1. Some were like I was spot checking, and but he had a lot of cards. We ended up selling on a price. I was really nervous about the price. I did not know if I was getting a good deal or not. I felt like I was getting a decent deal, but I knew it was going to be a lot of work. And then I've spent, since Saturday morning, I spent probably 23 hours, 24 hours total. So I did all day Saturday, did all day Sunday, and I even did a few hours after work yesterday pricing, pricing, looking up pricing, looking up pricing. And I mean, that right there, now I know why, like, when people get bulk deals, they can't do the 70-80% on bulk deals. Because I would have made no money if I spent the time to, price everything out and then give them a percentage on it. There's no way I would have made money. I mean, like I said, seriously, 23, 24, maybe even 25 hours straight pricing stuff. Went through a whole roll of price stickers and everything, and now I got to sit here. They're in binders. I'm gonna take them out. His binders actually were really nice. They were leather bound. They didn't have the zipper on it. They had the strap, but they don't fold up behind one another like my cheaper plastic ones do. So I can fold the cover behind it. Only takes up one little area instead of taking up two areas. With an open binder. So I will. I'm going to keep the nicer binders I got from him for my personal collection. I'm going to switch everything out because I got the cheap ones that I can fold the cover back, and those I'll end up taking to the show so I don't take up as much room. But so it was a lot of time in that, and if I paid myself hourly like I do at my 9 to 5 job, so to speak, I mean that's That's another $700 in my time of just pricing stuff, not counting materials. So I mean, it would. I mean, think of it that way. I paid a pretty good amount for it, but overall, total wise, I felt like I got a pretty good deal. Guy's name was Gary. My brother used to work. My brother used to work with him. He knows a guy I used to race with and everything, and he still works up there. And he ended up being a super cool guy. He was really cool. I see us hanging out sometime. He ended up sending me a friend's request on Facebook. His wife was there. She seemed real cool. Sometimes wives can be like snooty and not. She was real cool, nonchalant. I mean, they were my people. He had some motorcycle jackets and everything from where he used to ride. And I used to ride. I'm sitting there feeling the jackets. Of course, they got the armor in them and stuff. If you don't know about that, a lot of motorcycle jackets. The reason the guy looks so big and muscular is because he actually has armor inside the jacket. It's just really cool. He was a cool guy. Yeah, so I appreciate him reaching out to me. Appreciate him making a deal with me. But that does mean the show this weekend. Ooh, excuse me. What is this weekend's date? The 7th, the 8th? 7th or 8th, 9th? Man, I don't know, man. Should have looked this shit up. I ain't got a calendar in here. What am I looking for? But I will be at the Greenville Convention Center, Greenville, North Carolina, with Unplugged Games. They're going to have all sorts of tournaments there. I'm pretty sure there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm pretty sure I know there's Pokemon. I know there's a Magic the Gathering. I think there's some other TCG tournaments too. This was like the second or third show we ever did last year. So it's kind of a smaller show, like not as busy, but it was a great show for us. And that's always good when it's not a super busy show, like you're not overwhelmed and everybody's like at your tail, but you're still doing good. So I'm hoping for that at least still. I will have a lot more singles this time. I'm going to have so much singles now. I mean, I thousands of singles. When I say I bought singles from this guy, I bought a shitload of singles. I mean, like I said, 24 hours at least, 23 hours, whatever, at least a price and stuff. So I'm going to have singles out the galore. I used to price everything before show. The night before. That's done. Now I see why some of the bigger guys at shows like, yeah, you can't do that every show. I'm like, oh, dude, you have to because the marketing. I can't do that every show. A car might jump up 50%. I'm just going to be 50% less. And that's only it's going to hurt me because, Tom, Dick, and Harry would be like, hey, you got 35 on this car, but the market's 20. Obviously can't sell for 35 now. But if it's, hey, you got 35 on this car and the market's jumped up to 50, they ain't going to say nothing. No, they're going to hand me my 35. But, dude, can you believe I got it? So, yeah. I will probably stick to cars that are like maybe over $50, $35. Maybe 35 because from him, 95% of his cars were less than $10. And I'm going to say maybe 1 or 2% might have been over 20. So, like I said, it was a lot of lower end cars, but it's going to make the table look good. It's going to make me look good. People that come in and ask for like the weird Gengars or the weird Hisuian Arcanine or whatever, like I now have a variety of cars. It's going to be really nice. Celebrations is pretty popular right now because of the 30th anniversary. I got some celebration cars from them. I've got a lot of evolutions. They get none of the big evolutions from Evolving Skies, but I got some nice evolutions. I've probably put in 200 cars into my personal collection. The wife probably put in 100 in her personal collection, because we're collectors at heart, right? That's why I ain't gonna say that's why we do this anymore. Because let's be honest, we're doing this trying to make a business. Oh, remind me, last Friday I applied for an LLC. Should get confirmation this week. The business name was cleared. I'm already a sole proprietorship. or however you say that, So I've already been in legit business for 2 years. I'm just trying to get the LLC going. What scared me into this, and this was a scared me into this. I told y'all I bought some cases of stuff online from a website, and I was getting scared because it was supposed to be 2-day shipping, and here it was 4 days and nothing. Crickets. I emailed them. I didn't email them twice. That was a lot. I called them 3 times. I left 2 voicemails, and nothing. Still crazy. So customer service sucked. I was a little bit worried, and I knew if I had a credit card, I could do a chargeback if I got scammed. Well, I feel like it's a little harder to do a chargeback on a debit card. I don't know about that, but from everything I've read online, it's a little harder. I'm not gonna say it's not possible, but it's definitely a little harder to do a chargeback on a debit card versus a credit card. And I was like, man, if I had a credit card, I wouldn't worry about that. And for anybody who knows me, knows I don't do debt. I don't do credit. I've never had a credit card, and I still do not ever have a credit card under my name. So I was like, the workaround, make Jabs Corner Store LLC. So Jabs Corner Store LLC is coming. Did I get a business credit card under Jabs Corner Store LLC? And now I do not intend to ever hold a balance on the credit card. I do plan on only buying stuff like I do now that I can afford to pay. Put it on the credit card, pay the credit card off. Get my 2% cash back or whatever, woohoo. But I felt, and some other business people talk about this and everything, but that gives me an extra layer of protection. Because first of all, I'm using whoever's money, Capital One, I don't know. I've never had a credit card, as I said, so I don't know what credit card I can get, or will get. I don't know, but I use Capital One's money, and then if something happens, I can do a chargeback and get my money back from So that is the reason I'm going to LLC. I will get a company credit card. It'll all be on the Jabs. No debt will be in mine and my wife's name. No debt's gonna be in Jab's name, as long as, because I still plan on just buying stuff I can pay for as I get it. So, but I feel like this would allow me to get bigger purchases online at one time to turn around and sell out a show and then pay it back. So I do believe I can get to a $10,000 show this year. Probably won't be this week, unless this is a small show. Maybe the following weekend, next weekend, because I got a big that's a 2-day show. Big 2-day show in Raleigh. That's another big one at the fairgrounds. I did really good with this one earlier this year. So maybe I can have another big show. That is a goal. I didn't know this was a goal till a couple weeks ago at my last show, but that is gonna be a goal. I am gonna do 10,000 in a show. So if you come up to me and ask me how much have I done, I tell you 9,600. You can probably get a good deal because I want to get at 10,000. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fantastic. Last year, I don't know if I did say this on video because I didn't want to jinx myself, and I still don't want to jinx myself. Knock on wood, But I think I can do 100,000 this year at shows. I really do. I am on par to do that, and then some. So that's gonna be great. That will be a goal of mine. Of course, all that ain't profit. Of course, Pokemon, to be competitive and it's high. And I ain't got distribution, so I'm having to buy from the scalpers. Like I said, a lot of my stuff I don't even get retail. I don't have time to go out and scalp stuff. So, I mean, on 100,000 sales, I might have made 10, 15,000. I try to get 15% on it most of the time. Love to get 20%, but not everything's 20%. Not everything's 15%. Some of the higher end stuff, people know what they got, and they don't want to give it up for nothing. Oh, I don't want to stop. I'm talking about recording's going to stop to answer this call. Man, forgetting them guys. Anyway, that's all I got. That's enough rambling. I don't know what I'm going to name this video. All I know is I got a show this week. I'm going to have a shitload of singles. I either will have Ninja Spinner, or I will be pre-selling Ninja Spinner on the boxes that I have coming in. I'll find out tomorrow, Thursday, my price, and then I'll let y'all know. I do like Mega Dream, Nil Zero, and other Japanese sets on my website, jabspokecenter.com. Go check it out. It's flat rate shipping. You can use Jabs 10 off, all caps, to get 10% off when you spend $100 or more. The traction to the website has picked up this year. My traction counter is like a 30-day roll, and it's constantly over 100 for 30 days. So that is cool. That is big news for me, and that is all I got. Bye.